Welcome to Weight Loss from Home, the holistic way. Before we get into day number 18 class, let's recap what we have studied till now. In the first week, we studied the importance of maintaining a journal, consuming liberal quantities of fruits, conscious breathing, being physically active, being mindful of our actions, and being grateful, and the importance of small and frequent meals. In week number 2, we studied the importance of complex carbohydrates, the importance of being cheerful always, no matter what, and the power of self talk and affirmations, and how consuming vegetables in its three forms, both raw, boiled, and cooked form, and how holding on to fear is one of the reasons for not losing weight, and how to release that fear, and exercising our free will, and the importance of quality of sleep. In the third week, we studied the importance of meditation, that is maintaining or having quality me time, and the importance of consuming protein and not to react to situations in life, maintaining a calm and composed outlook, that is responding instead of reacting. So welcome to day number 18. Here we'll be talking about butterful life. Okay, how the butter is connected to weight loss, we'll be discussing in this. So when we look at food plate, healthy plate, we know that food groups are 6 in number, and one of the food groups is milk and milk products. So milk and milk products along with protein group constitute, along with fats and oil, constitute one third of it, fruits and vegetables one third, and cereals and millets one third. So as we see them in the pyramid, it is in the second level along with protein group, and this food group along with other protein group which we discussed in lean is mean, responsible for growth and development and repair and regeneration of our body. As we discussed already, that body is in dynamic equilibrium. That means every day new body cells are being formed and old cells are either being replaced or recycled. So milk is considered a complete food. When a baby is born, so the baby doesn't require anything, not even a drop of water, except for mother's milk. And for how long? You can go up to 2 years. You don't even have to give a single drop of water, whether the mother is healthy and willing to feed the kid and is full of milk. So what does it mean, complete food? So the baby's metabolic rate is very high. Their respiratory rate is high, heart rate is high. That means a lot of intense activity is happening because growth and development is on high gear. They require a lot of vitamins and minerals along with all the nutrients in sufficient quantities for optimal growth of the baby. All these things are there in mother's milk, including the antibodies to protect kid from the so-called infections and other kinds of illnesses. And the recent discoveries are like that. See, we get the microbiome, that is the healthy bacteria in our body, from mother's breast as well. When the baby is suckling the mother's breast, and the bacteria that is there in mother's body are being transferred to the kid, and which are protective in nature. So the same is the case with the normal delivery. When vaginal delivery, the baby is protected with the microbiome of mother's reproductive tract. So it is not just the nutritive value that is offering that is present in mother's milk that is offering protection, but also the microbiome that comes with the practice of breastfeeding. So next to mother's milk, and most of the Indians consider that cow milk is next to mother's milk, and but in reality, in practicality, most of the Indians they consume buffalo milk a lot because the water buffaloes are most common, and their milk has got more taste compared to cow's milk because it contains more fat. So which is better? Both of them are good. It all depends upon your requirement. But unfortunately, the desi cow's milk is being replaced with the Western cows. Like we have this Holstein and Jersey. These cows are supposed to grow, or they are native to uh, colder climates. So Europe and US, where they are like Jersey and Holstein breeds of cows are quite common, but they give a lot of milk. I mean, they give 30 to 40 liters of milk, but desi cow hardly gives more than 5 to 6 liters of milk in a day. But buffaloes and especially Murrah breed, they give up to 10 liters and more than 10 liters. Some buffaloes they give up to 20 liters. So they are native, and most of the farmers and this villagers, they tend to raise buffaloes rather than cows. And if at all someone is raising cows, they do it for their own domestic consumption. Now, what are the different forms in which we take? So we take milk and milk products in the form of either milk and or as buttermilk or lassi or as curd. All of them are good. And recently there is a lot of interest in the nutrition fraternity about fermented food. Okay, so why? Because fermented food contains bacteria that are helpful. So when you consume curd or buttermilk, which is fermented overnight in a natural process, so we consume lot of healthy bacteria, and these healthy bacteria keep our digestive system healthy. A person's health can be measured by the health of his or her digestive system's health. So simple things like, I mean, simple discomforts like burping or belching or heartburn or abdominal pain or bloating or formation of excess gas or constipation or diarrhea, all these symptoms are related to digestive system. That means the digestive system is not healthy. If the digestive system is not healthy, and that means the gut bacteria are not healthy, so you have more harmful bacteria than healthy bacteria in our body. So to the best way one can improve a person's health, right, or one's health, is by consuming these fermented foods like curd or buttermilk or lassi. All of them are good. And another thing, when it comes to milk and milk products, people have this, I mean, like perennial question that whether ghee is good or not, whether we can apply butter on our roti or not. So butter and ghee we use to make sweets. Okay, but look at sweets. I mean, how do you make sweets? We take the refined flour. Most of the time it is maida, and we defat fry it. Okay, that means lot of oil. First of all, it is refined flour. That means nothing but sugar, empty calories. There is no nutrient value. On top of that, you are adding oil, and to that you are adding sweet, that is like sugar, free sugars, and on top of that you are adding ghee. And this is energy dense food, and it is cold. So what it does is it provides you only calories and no nutritive value at all. So using butter and ghee in sweets is harmful to our body. But when it comes to rice, when you are taking steamed rice, if you add butter or ghee to that, so what it does is it actually increases your appetite, okay, and gives you satiety also. You cannot consume lot of fat or lot of ghee, a lot of rice when you add ghee to your rice. So in fact it controls the satiety, and it improves the digestion. Same is the case with roti or pulka or chapati, when you apply ghee or butter to these chapatis. So when food is hot, you can apply both butter and ghee. It is good for weight loss, but not the sweets with ghee. Okay, so these things, they make you more fat and gain weight. Now, in urban areas, especially in metropolitan cities, there is a new movement called the vegan diets. So this vegan movement has come from Western countries. So where the dairy industry is industrialized to the extent that the animals are not treated as animals. They treat them very cruelly. They are totally what is like they are not like they don't feed them with grass. They are not grass fed animals. They are like their feed is like this what do you say, the grains, genetically modified food, so that the yield is more, the yield of milk is more, the yield of meat is more. So the cruelty that is there in western world is not there in India, at least to the same extent. I mean, there are a couple of big dairy farms, but they're limited in number. We still get this milk from the farmers who raise their herd in their villages, and they supply the milk to the cities and all. So should we completely avoid milk? It is totally your personal call. Okay, but as I said, milk is very nutritious. Milk is like full of I mean contains all the nutrients in required quantities. As I said again, you don't have to see. As I said, there is a difference between the Western dairy industry and Indian dairy industry. You don't have to 100% follow whatever is being followed in the West. And another argument against milk is, so milk contains casein and whey protein, and people think that since whey protein is soluble protein and it is has got certain benefits, and casein causes some kind of inflammation or is responsible for lactose intolerance. I mean, some kind of inflammation in the body, and it is not insoluble. So people have this whey extract and concentrated whey protein, and also some people complain of lactose intolerance. So the glucose and lactose that is there in our milk, some people they cannot convert this lactose into glucose, and this lactose intolerance is there in them, and they have this problem of consuming either milk or milk products. But if you look at lactose intolerance, if they consume lactose, they may have certain symptoms, but if they consume the fermented products like buttermilk or lassi or curd, right, some people they can manage it. It is more like saying, when people talk about whey concentrate to improve muscle, and when this people try to sell this, what it appears to me is like, since oxygen is good for our body, let's inhale pure oxygen. But most of the people, they don't know 100% pure oxygen is poison, right? People die if they consume 100% oxygen. So the nature is perfectly balanced. The atmospheric air that we see is only 20% oxygen, right? 20 to 21% oxygen, 78% is nitrogen. So you, just because oxygen is good and you cannot consume 100% or inhale 100% oxygen, taking whey protein extract is also like that, right? It may not be beneficial all the time. And saying that lactose intolerance, I mean, milk may cause lactose intolerance, and people have this lactose intolerance, is like saying the number one reason for divorce is marriage. Our cars are the responsible for car accidents. Let's ban them. Let's ban marriages to prevent divorce. So the same argument goes, I mean, goes for lactose intolerance as well. See, it is not the problem of the milk, but the problem is with the person. Instead of focusing on why did this lactose intolerance happen and try to correct, and we are finding fault with the milk, and which we people have been using for thousands of years. Okay, now how this butterful life, following a butterful life, can help us lose weight. This is exercise number 18. Make sure that you get 3 servings of milk. 3 servings of milk is 240 ml. I mean, almost 1/4 liter of milk is 1 serving. So ideally speaking, everyone requires 3 servings of milk. So that means if there are 4 people in a house, that means they require 3 liters of milk, not 3 packets, not the half liter packet that you get every day. 3 liters, that means 6 packs of milk for 4 people. That is the ideal consumption. If you are consuming that much of quantity of milk or milk products per day, you can lose weight. How? Milk, buttermilk, lassi or curd. I mean, you can have all them in all 3 forms, And the best way to consume and to lose weight is start your meal, either lunch or dinner, either with buttermilk or curd rice. So we know, we studied the importance of consuming fruit. You start your meal with fruit and then have 1 glass of milk in the breakfast. Similarly, in lunch, start your fruit, consume 1 serving of fruit, then add rice or roti to your curd, 80% curd and 20% rice, or have 1 glass of buttermilk, then go for your main course. So fruit followed by buttermilk or curd rice, which is 80% curd, 20% rice. Then go for the main course, right? What happens? Your satiety level will come down. You are 80% full and you cannot eat your rice or you cannot eat your chapati. If you are able to eat 3 chapatis, you can, hardly you can have is space for only 1 chapati, which is good. Your stomach is full, you are not hungry, you have satiety, and you are consuming less calories. Okay. So the best way is add rice to your curd or add rice to your buttermilk, not the other way around. And start your breakfast, as I said, with 1 glass of milk. If we follow this particular principle, then it is quite easy to lose weight with a butterful life. This is exercise number 18 on day 18, and I'll see all of you on day number 19. Have a wonderful day.